Hello everyone and welcome to this Brainpod AI review video. Today I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about Brainpod, and as usual, if you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. I'll also be leaving a discounted link in this video's description so that you can always get your money's worth for Brainpod. So Brainpod essentially is a website that uses AI to help you generate brand new SEO articles, images, and everything like that from one simple, intuitive piece of software on the internet. So here we have our main page. Now, as you can see, we have our dashboard. It's laid out really well. You know where everything is realistically on here. And one other thing that I like is that it comes with a Chrome extension so that you can generate things on the fly and other really useful features like that. But our dashboard basically just shows us all the overall information that we need to have. So how many members, tokens, things like that, and credits that we have on our website and on our account. You also have document favorites and any generated articles that you've got, because that's one of the other features. You can have documents and you can have articles and you can create those, and just overall see token usage amongst members of your team, so you can see who's actually doing most work and who isn't doing much at all. And you can obviously invite people to this so that you can see how they're doing on an individual basis as well. Now we immediately have to go to the workflow tab. Now this is basically the overall tab where you just go, I want to create something, let's go ahead and do it. And it will give you every single option that the website has, everything from creating an ad to posting on social media, to creating a video, to creating an image or an article or emails and things like that. Or you have the option to do it myself. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to simply go ahead and do create an image, and we're going to be using the image generator first. And then what we'll do is on the left here we have our prompt. We can have the style, the mood, and the keywords, and then it will create that for us. So the prompt we'll put as a sunny beach. We'll just put sunny beach, and the style we'll put as let's say retro. The medium, this doesn't really matter. These are all things that if you want to add, you can, or you can just select none and it will do an automatic one for you. But we'll do it in crayon. The mood we'll do it as energetic, and we won't bother with any keywords or inspiration, and we'll go ahead and hit generate. And what this will do is it basically will craft us the perfect image that we want for that specific thing. So there you go. You have a crayon, I believe I put a crayon beach, really quite energetic, lively, lots of colors, but it's really good. And you can either insert that into whatever you want, or you can download it and import that into maybe your website or your page or anything that you might want to use it in. We'll go ahead and we'll do one more. It will open up the other things as well while you're at it. This is something we'll get onto later. But we'll do one more, create an image, and we'll just see what it comes out with. So for this one, we'll put, as I'm wearing a Toronto t-shirt today, we'll do a Toronto skyline, and we'll just go ahead and hit generate with absolutely no options. So it'll basically have the world as its oyster, and it will do something as close to reality as it can. And there you go, you have the skyline. Obviously, the one thing that I was looking for was the CN Tower, so you can generate another image like this, and it will just generate another. And when we get that CN Tower, we'll be absolutely happy with what it looks like. As you can see, there it is. You have a skyline of Toronto. Absolutely really well done. There's the CN Tower. Obviously, you can see it try to do it here, but it's hidden behind a building, evidently. But that's what we were looking for, this Toronto skyline with the CN Tower. So, moving on next. So, what we now have is we have the other options that the workflow has. We're not going to go through any of them because we basically get the idea, but it has a vast amount. But if you decide that this isn't something that you wanted to do, then you can head back to your Brainpod AI tab and move down to documents. Now here you basically have, down here you have all of like your storage options, if you will. You have bulk articles, my content, favorites, and archives, and that basically just goes on to say if you've done any of those things. But you can also create a document or create an article. You can choose for it to be a complete workflow with an article, a workflow, a one-click article, a document editor, or even bulk article generation. So you can create numerous articles by simply putting keywords in, which I think is a ridiculous thing. The fact that we're now able to do that by putting simply keywords, words that have somewhat of a relation to specific topics, you can generate up to 2,000 articles at a time, and that is mental. That is absolutely incredible to think about. But you have all of these options, and when you do, so we're going to do a one-click. We'll go ahead and do this, and we'll do one based off a title, and the article title will be things to do in Toronto during winter. And there we go. And we'll create the article, and it will simply write us that That's all it will do. And then you will have that written for you. So the document will have been created, and you can go ahead and click on this and then use the AI writer. And basically, it won't have created the actual article and the text for you. You'll have to do that separately. But what you have to do is description. Give me a talkative, informal yet professional list of things to do in Toronto during winter. Make it fun. Tone of voice will be friendly, and we'll go ahead and hit compose. And you also have a plagiarism detector built in, which is one of the features that I really, really like, because, you know, people are going to be using this for essays. Let's be real. And being able to have that plagiarism checkup means that you really don't have anything wrong to think about. You don't have to worry about having, somebody else's sources included. First, make sure you read the list, make a plan, visit attractions you've never been to. Even if they're in a different city, you only have one shot to impress Toronto. In some of the list changes, but that's a whole different topic. So it's short at the moment, but you can obviously specify how many words you want there to be, etc, etc, etc. But overall, I really, really like it, and that is a great idea of how to create an article. You also have other options. You have power modes, you have templates that you can use. These are basically if you wanted to write a specific type of text, you're able to make it do that as well. But you will have all of these. So SEO mode, writer mode, and also text to speech if that is something that you want to do as well. And when you do hit the back button, it will automatically save your document for you, and there it will be. Templates are what we just went across. You also have all your writing and article templates. This is basically if you want to have something written for you, but you want a sort of basis, a foundation on what you actually want to write, and you want the AI to know roughly what type of thing you're actually wanting to produce. So that's one really good thing about this software. You can have templates as well. Now moving on, we have create an image. This is basically a image editor software. It's not an AI image editor software. It's more everything overall in one. So you have generate text, adjust shapes, images, draw settings, and layers. So whilst you can have an image generator already, this is more of adding on to that. So it's not just the image generator, you can add things to that image, which is really, really handy as well. So we also have layouts. You can change the aspect ratio if that's something you want to do. You have generate as well. So if we do put prompt, we'll go ahead and we'll do Toronto skyline again, just for the sake of ease. We'll go ahead and hit generate, and that will generate it for us. So when it's on there, we'll have that. We'll go ahead and say, yep, that's absolutely perfect. We can drag it on really nicely. And when it's on, this will then be moved around. I accidentally added a few too many. So what I will do is I will delete that object and we'll just keep the one that we had beneath it. And then what you can do is you can add text. So things to do in Toronto, and then hit add. And then this will be able to be moved at any point that you want, and we'll put it there. And obviously that will then be able to put anywhere you want, and you'll also be able to change the font, the color, all that information about it, which I think is just really, really useful to be able to have. You can make it look nice. You can make it look as professional as you want it to. You can adjust the color, so saturation, all those things, exposure, brightness, gamma, all those things. You can add photos. You can pixelate things. You can add noise if you wanted to. You can blur specific aspects of it. All these things go together, and all you need to do is drag and drop. And that is all you have to do for something to be added. It does take a few seconds to actually do, but once it is there, it is brilliant. You also have shapes. You can add shapes or arrows pointing left, right, and center if that's something that you wanted to do. However, that isn't something that you always have to do, but you can do that if that's something that you choose. You can add your own images. If you have one that you've not generated and you want to include that anyway, then you're able to do that. Or you can search Pixabay or Pexels for obviously copyright-free images that you can use as well. You can draw on there freehand lines, rectangles, circles, or curves. And then finally, edit the layers if things you want to go on top or below of other things. But other than that, the rest of the features are fairly self-explanatory. You can install the Chrome extension, you can view any documentation about the software just to get an idea of how things work. You can deposit, you can go to settings, upgrades, affiliate or dark mode, and they're the other options that you have if you want to. But that is more or less it for Brainpod. So what do I think about Brainpod? And in all honesty, I really like it. I think the way that it works is just brilliant. The amount of things that they have. And in all honesty, out of all of the AI softwares and websites that I've tried, I have to admit, This is in my top 3. It is incredible. Obviously, I may even label it number 1. I just can't pick which one's better when you have a top 3, but it is definitely one of my very, very much favorites. And the reason behind that is because you can integrate things with other things. I love the fact that you can go to create an image and have a video image editing tool, a bit like Photoshop, but immediately mixed with an AI content generation as well. Like, you don't have to export a content thing that you've made on an external website and then move it into a website where you can have it all done in the same place, and I love that. I also really like how you can have numerous people on there and see the different usage of people on your team if you want to use this on a more professional and company and corporate basis. I love the workflows tab where everything is listed there just perfectly for you, and I absolutely love everything to do with it, and I would highly recommend it to anybody who does need an AI generator, writer, all in one, where you don't need to really leave and enter any other software. But thank you everyone so much for watching. But until next time, I will see you then. But until then, goodbye.